that.
Oh, good colour.
Beautiful colour.
This is a mark of the year type of dish. This is like up there, Kazali.
This sauce is meaty, red winey. It's spot on, can't criticise it. Perfect balance of bitter chocolate.
That tells me it's not been overset with gelatin or egg white. It's got some movement, it's got some wobble. That's sexy.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's really wonderful.
Thank you. For me, it's a symphony in my palate right now. It's like dancing.
Yeah, it's bright, it's colourful, it's clean, it's fragrant, it's floral. They talk about perfection being lots of little things done well, and that is perfection as far as I'm concerned.
I haven't quite pinpointed what I want to do yet.
I have both some chicken and also some red meat. I'm already starting this challenge indecisive.
What are you doing, Christina? I still have no idea.
I just try to think of things that would work with wine. Okay. Oh my God, I actually have my dish. Okay, let's go.
What are you making, Christina?
I'm doing a pan-seared beef with some confit onions, a fondant potato, pickled carrots, and a Madeira jus.
Delicious. Is this your main, Heston?
Yes. It's chicken braised with sherry.
Oh, delicious.
I'm going to dust them with some skim milk powder. For me, this is also about home cooking. If I could show you using some of the techniques I developed at the restaurant for things you can do at home, but for a reason, for a good reason. There's something called the Maillard reaction. It's basically when sugars and proteins, or carbohydrates and proteins, react under heat and form new meaty flavours. Skim milk powder is protein, and carbohydrate because the lactose in it. Having given some advice about keeping it simple, I've kind of... I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. Main dish, obviously the hero ingredient is the alcohol. Chicken and sherry works really well with the mushrooms. And butter, chopped onion, garlic, leeks, then the sherry to get that on pretty quickly because obviously they need to be braised. Yeah? Can't do that in 5 or 10 minutes. What are you doing, Christina?
I'm making a Madeira jus to go with my roast beef. What are you doing?
But the sherry's just gone into my braised chicken.
Just starting your braise?
Wine has to be my hero ingredient. I choose Madeira because it's beautiful and it's rich and complex and it's a great base for jus. I'm also from Madeira, so, you know, I've got to use it because if not, my mother would kill me. This needs to be perfect, this jus, because if it's not perfect, then I'm in trouble because it's my only wine element on the dish.
Only 30 minutes to go. Come on.
Come on, guys!
With my pan-roasted eye fillet, I need to make sure my meat is cooked properly. I don't want it to be under, and I sure as hell do not want it to be overcooked. I pan-sear it. I then get it into the oven so it can finish cooking.
Is it in the oven already?
Yeah, it's...
Beef fillet?
Yeah.
How long is it going to take?
I'm just going to check on it once I finish peeling my carrots. And then that's
So
a test
how
because
long
I've
have you
got
got it in
some...
for?
I've had it in for about 3 minutes.
3?
3 or 4 minutes, yeah. So I was just going to check it. I've got 2 pieces
Don't
in there that I've
overcook
got.
it.
I'm really flustered and I'm really wanting to make sure that I stick to what I've decided to do and then just execute that as well as I can. Okay, so I've got my beef done, I've got my pickle going, and I'm working on this jus. I don't think it's too safe, but that's really up to Matt and Gary to decide whether it's too safe or not. I've taken my beef out of the oven and it's rested for a little bit. I'm judging it by feel. I'm just really hoping it's not overcooked.
You can do it!
Go, Daniel. Go, Christina. Risky. Stupid mate.
Go, Hester!
Come on, Heston.
Well, 2 very different main courses, both hearing wine. Where do you want to go first? Beef or chicken?
I think we should go with chicken.
Okay. Oh, lettuce and peas.
Yeah.
Very French.
Yep.
Waiting for that decision, I felt like I was back at school. I started to get nervous, really nervous.
Smell the sherry.
There's something really reassuringly country about that dish.
Yeah, absolutely.
That lovely, slightly wilted lettuce, that rich, dark, complex sherry and sauce.
It's absolutely delicious and reminds me I need to use more sherry in my cooking.
Yeah.
Let's taste the other dish.
Interesting to see how that beef's cooked.
Oh, blimey. Oh, blimey, that's good, isn't it? That's really good.
Really, really good.
I'm proud of my dish, but I'm also a little bit worried that my dish isn't whimsical enough. So I'm hoping that showing good technique is going to be enough.
This is much more chefy as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Lots of little elements on there.
Good flavours. Really good flavours.
That's so funny. We've got one of the most modern chefs in the world in the MasterChef kitchen, and we've got two dishes that reference classic ways and old flavours. Rather than a red wine jus, you're using a Madeira jus. It's dark, it's rich.
It's beautiful. And it is an old school flavour, isn't it?
Delicious.
Yeah.
And the cooking, the potato, the puree, the beef, on the money.
Yeah, spot on.
I'm just making a mess.
So Georgia and I are going to work on the dessert together. The chocolate raspberry, classic flavour combination. And I need to find a way to just spice this up, add a bit of a cheeky element and surprise the judges.
I'm making a raspberry vodka sorbet.
Yep.
You happy with that?
Yeah. Just be careful.
There's definitely a risk that it can be too boozy, so I've got to make sure I get that balance right.
You know what? They've been really adventurous. There's lots of stuff going on. I mean, lots and lots of technique. You know what I'd love somebody to do is to temper the chocolate. We haven't seen it yet in the competition. Is anybody going to be brave enough?
The dessert that Amy and I are making today is going to be a chocolate fondant with a raspberry and vodka sorbet with discs of tempered chocolate. If I don't temper the chocolate properly today, it's not going to have a nice shine and it's not going to have a nice crack. I think if I get it right, then that'll add an extra element to our dish that will impress the judges. How are you going?
Yeah, I'm going good. In this challenge, I'm making the savoury dish. I'm making chocolate pasta with lamb and a red wine reduction sauce. As soon as I get the red wine reducing, I'm on to the pasta. Let's see how we go. I think cooking chocolate pasta is definitely risky. I think it's going to work, but I don't know what the judges will make of chocolate pasta.
How's your sorbet going?
Can you just check it?
Is it in here?
Yeah.
It's not really setting, Amy. Amy, it hasn't set a lot.
Georgia points out that our sorbet is not setting in the ice cream maker.
Shall I chuck it in the blast?
Get it in the blast
Shall we get
drawer?
it down?
We've still got 20 minutes and we're just going to put it into the blast freezer and I reckon it will set in the blast freezer, hopefully.
The concern is that it might be a little bit icy or it won't even set. So fingers crossed.
Colin, Amy and Georgia.
As we walk up with our dishes, I'm feeling really confident. I can't imagine how we could possibly be the bottom team with this food.
Wow.
It's chocolate fettuccine with pan-seared lamb and a red wine chocolate reduction.
Colin, have you any idea how much I really don't like chocolate pasta?
Oh,
Have you-
really?
Oh,
I have no idea.
Given the choice, I avoid it like the plague. I've never had a chocolate pasta dish that I've liked. Ever. Hate it. But that, I love. And this sauce is meaty, red winey, it's spot on, can't criticise it. Perfect balance of bitter chocolate. No joke, I can drink this stuff. In fact,
No, Gary.
I think I will.
Great dish. Colin, man, whoa.
I'm thrilled not to have let my teammates down. Hopefully their dessert gets as good a rap and we might be over the line for a win.
Ooh, nice and gooey.
Beautiful.
Did you temper the chocolate?
Yeah.
Nice and thin.
Good shine on the top.
Great. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
And this is why this series is unbelievable, because you don't need to teach you how to temper chocolate. You're doing it.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Well done.
What do you boys need? What do you boys need? What do you boys need?
We're almost on top of it, mate. At this point, all the meat's in the oven. We're just getting all the different components cooking. Behind hot pan, Daniel, can you open the oven behind you, please, mate? But with this lamb rub, I do feel a bit worried. We're starting to run out of time, and if it's not cooked enough, it's going to be a little bit tough. And if it doesn't work out, we're in trouble. But I do believe that we've done enough to get through this tape. And, you know, I want to cut that meat beautifully and get it on the plate. And I'm just praying that it's going to be cooked perfectly.
Ames, if you could get that oven for me again, thank you.
Sure, Kelsey.
Thanks, baby. Everything's under control at the moment. I take my confit out of the oven and it's looking good. These look good, Rishikesh. I think it's a winner. Samira's spatchcocks are looking fantastic. Rishikesh, how's your bread? What are we up to?
I'm almost there, Kels.
Good. I look across to Nolene and she's done a good job on the sardines. Everybody has dug deep and took that responsibility for their dishes and they look fantastic.
All right, guys, this is the final minutes before we start cleaning down and start our prep.
However, the one thing that's thrown me a curveball is the ice cream. So I'm a little bit worried about that. We'll just have to wait and see.
How we going, guys?
Great.
I think our dishes are superb. I think they really look good. And I think these guys are going to like it too. So hopefully we have a nice, calm service.
It's all right. It's just the timer.
Okay, Vern, take it.
We need to plate these mains up. I'm a bit concerned as to whether it's going to be ready, but we are out of time. And it's looking good.
That's beautiful, blue team.
I'm just really relieved.
Come on, faster, guys, you can do it.
There you go, 2 plates ready.
I'm absolutely blown away. Every single element that we're popping out just looks perfect.
Come on, guys, push it, faster.
I'm really happy with the team that I've got behind me.
Another 2 plates, boys.
We're going to win this for sure.
Good evening, boys.
Hello.
Tonight I have for you a shared plate. It's called Lover's Lamb. Got a lovely lamb rump, some Jerusalem artichoke puree, Jerusalem artichoke and chestnut crisps, and a red wine gin.
Right, get out of here.
Wow. Loads of really good flavours there. I love the freshness of the lemon in that gremolata across the top of the lamb is delicious. The red wine sauce and the whiteness of that artichoke puree is great.
A little bit tough, but can I say that is delicious. The flavour in that is yum. The sauce has been refined and corrected. It's got a lovely little shine to it.
It's really actually quite tasty. There's a really nice little parsnip on the top, and the lamb's cooked really nicely. It's yummy.
The big problem here I have is I could devour the rest of that very quickly. I'm starving.
And you've not got a big appetite, have you?
No. So, you know, you sit here sort of, what do we say next?
The only thing we talk about here is where's the rest of my meal? Ah, here it comes.
Gentlemen, this evening we have a mise platter style menu for you. Spatchcock done 2 ways. So we've confited the Maryland. With the breast, we've marinated that in some harissa with some pickled vegetables on the top. Over on this side, we have sardine dusted in almond coating and breadcrumbs, pan-fried on a hummus bed with pippies and chorizo in a rich Italian broth with some lovely dipping bread. Right here we have our warmed olives with a roast eggplant dip.
Thank you, Kelty.
Very nice.
Please enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
delicious.
Let's taste the chicken. Yum, yum, yum. Bags of flavour.
That combination of the sweetness of the puree, the two different approaches to cooking the spatchcock, the confit and the grilling. When you think that they had, you know, I think the ingredients that we class as being dangerous, really impressive work.
Hello.
George has been getting quite antsy.
Oh my gosh.
Chili chocolate sorbet, which turned into a puzzle. And then we've got a fig ice cream.
So your ice cream didn't set?
Half of it set, well, 3/4 of it set, and the last quarter didn't. So.
You better run before it all melts.
They've used a chili. It's one of their 5 ingredients they have to use. Oh, is that not George? What's the matter?
There is so much chili.
That's a wee bit warm, isn't it?
Whoa.
Good texture. That fig ice cream is pretty good. That chill, thin, crisp, perfect, impeccable. Good flavours.
Great flavours.
But rather too much cream and not enough ice.
I have never personally tried chili chocolate before, but this is amazing. It is amazing.
I think it's a great challenge. I think floral is a great way to describe a dessert. The first thing that comes to my mind is roses. I absolutely love roses, so I want to make a dish that resembles a rose, but also try and get that flavour in as well. Today I'm going to make strawberries and cream inspired by red roses. I have marinated strawberries, and I have a strawberry consommé reduction. Also, rosewater ice cream that will sit on a thyme sablé. The strawberries are really nice. They've got a really good vibrant red colour, and I think they're going to be perfect for the dish.
Today, my idea for a dish is a chocolate and beetroot dessert that I've been thinking about for a while, and I think it'd be really nice tweaked with a few flowers. Beetroot isn't commonly used in desserts. It's got some really nice earthy flavours, though, that I think will pair well with chocolate. So I really want to push the boundaries today and stand out from the crowd.
Sam? Beetroot, raspberry, basil.
Yeah.
What's the dish?
I'm doing beetroot and chocolate with raspberries and a basil granita.
Okay.
So I've got elderflower yogurt sorbet that'll go on top.
Yep.
I'm going to work some hibiscus syrup into a raspberry-infused vinegar and cook the beetroot, grated beetroot in that.
I like the flavours.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
I really want to hit top 3 and avoid the elimination tomorrow. My main concern is trying to balance out that beetroot. It is such a strong earthy flavour that it can easily turn into a savoury dish.
Ice cream's done, consommé's done, just resting before I pass it through a sieve. Yeah, I'm going really well. Everything's on track. So my sablé's in the oven, but I was looking at the time and I had to get it out. I shaped them and I just let it cool before I put it on the plate. I want to give as much time for myself to plate up because I just want to make it look really pretty. Feeling really confident, taking my dish up to the judges. I think the plate looks beautiful. Today I made strawberries and cream inspired by red roses.
Looks good, that.
Oh, good colour.
Beautiful colour.
Go.
Hello, you. You know why that's really good? It's the best ice cream of the day. It's got the right amount of rose where it's not overpowering. And there's some familiar elements there of strawberries and cream. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's really wonderful.
Thank you. For me, it's a symphony in my palate right now. It's like dancing.
Yeah, it's bright, it's colourful, it's clean, it's fragrant, it's floral. They talk about perfection being lots of little things done well, and that is perfection as far as I'm concerned.
Love it.
Thank you so much.
It makes me so happy to know that Janice Wong loves my dish. So I'm hoping that I've done enough, that I'm in the top 3. But regardless of what happens, I'm really happy that I plated that up and they loved it.
I'm really happy with the dish, but my concern is they're big flavours and I'm just hoping the judges are on the same wavelength as I am.
So, Sam, what did you cook?
Chocolate ganache, some beetroot cooked in raspberry and hibiscus vinegar, a basil granita, and an elderflower and yogurt sorbet.
Wow, plenty of texture going on in there.
You know, when I first looked at it, it reminded me of a bowl of potpourri.
Yeah, absolutely.
So beautiful.
Let's hope it doesn't taste like potpourri.
Standing there while the judges are trying the dish and they're not giving much away, I'm a little bit worried that the flavours don't work. And the longer it goes on, the more I'm worried.
It's wonderfully challenging, this dish. And it's making us think. For a minute, the world sort of stopped and I was just in the bowl going, wow, what's that? That's interesting, that's creative. It's, you know, we asked for floral, I get floral there. We asked for invention, there's invention there. It's beautiful. I'm so happy, Sam, I'm so happy. That is a beautiful, beautiful dessert.
Thanks, George.
It's really as beautiful as it tastes. I really have to say it's so beautiful and it's so original. Taste, the look of it, the colors, it's beautiful. I've never tasted any dish like that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Janice.
Can't believe the feedback I've just heard off the judges. I'm just so relieved. With 15 minutes to go, I didn't think I was going to get the main element up, and then to hear that feedback is just surreal. So I couldn't be happier.
I'm really pushing to reinvent surf and turf. My Luxor sauce has been simmering nicely on the stove and it tastes delicious. I need to get the lamb seared. Now, I'm making a curry leaf gremolata. And I'm blending some roasted curry leaves with some sourdough. And then I'm toasting it off in a pan with some ghee. So it gets that really nice, crunchy, beautifully rich flavour.
How are we looking?
It smells amazing, Tess.
It's a little bit different, you know, to your usual Italian route, but I know that these flavours work really well together and I'm pretty confident that this is going to work.
My pork crackle's done, it's beautiful and crispy. I can't wait to hear the judges crunching on it. My apple puree definitely has that strong, robust apple flavour. Now I need to turn my attention to these beautiful scallops.
Come on, Tim, come on.
To cook the perfect scallop, they need to be cooked very, very briefly. I've got to hold the scallops down in the pan with my fingers to get a real crust on them.
Fingers don't matter. All that matters is the food, nothing else.
Pain is gain, you've just got to push through it.
Final, most delicate of touches. 1 minute to go.
Come on, Nicole, come on, bring it home.
My elements are done. I've got to try and get everything on the plate and make it look beautiful. I sprinkle my pork crackle, get on some of the fresh apple slices. I want to show the judges that I'm working really hard on trying to get a bit more finesse with my plating.
The crowd's going wild! 30 seconds!
I'm really happy with how my dish is all coming together. I've definitely reinvented surf and turf, putting lamb and scallops and Luxor, you know, all together. It's, you know, not your usual flavour combination, but something that I would really like to eat.
It's, you know, really flavour packed. The proteins are cooked beautifully and something that I'm really proud to serve the judges.
10 seconds to go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Your time's up. First dish up, Tim.
The dish is scallops, pork, and apple.
So, gee, it's a restrained menu description. It looks delicate.
Oh my God, Tim.
When did delicate come into your vocabulary? And when did pretty come into your vocabulary? That looks great. I love it.
You had a bench full of ingredients. You had grapes and all sorts of things on your bench. Bread, there was loads of stuff. And you paired it back, and by making that more of a kind of a spiced apple chutney, you've given it some character and some flavour, and you've relied on that to then carry those scallops. And I thought when you put all that puree on the plate that maybe it was going to be too sweet, smother the scallops, but it doesn't. And I think it's really tasty. It's hearty and tasty.
Hearty is such a perfect word for that dish. But it doesn't look hearty. It looks delicate and refined and not really your sort of food. But the moment you taste the apple puree underneath, all that crackling, those beautifully burnished scallops, I love it. It makes me happy.
A true representation of your development. When you put the dish down, we're looking up at you going, hello, you. What have you been up to? And that's wonderful. That's what MasterChef's all about. That's a ripping plate of food, Tim Bone.
Thanks, boys. It means a lot. Thank you.
Hearing the judges' feedback, I'm tickled pink, to be honest. The judges look really stoked with my development in this competition, and I couldn't be happier now.
I'm really happy with my dish. I'm really hoping that the judges do see that the lamb and the scallops and the laksa are really nicely matched together.
That looks great.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that?
I'm really happy, yeah.
What's the dish?
Lamb and scallops with laksa.
Nice. And all the little green bits, what's that? Is that curry leaf?
So I did a curry leaf gremolata.
Yum.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yum. You know what is more surprising and delightful than yum? It's just the creativity. It is unexpected. You've got this kind of little tumble of, you know, this crisp gremolata with curry leaf in it, which random idea, but absolutely brilliant, over the top of the seared scallops. And that just beautiful sauce and the most sophisticated presentation. It's surf and turf that I have never seen before. I'm very happy with it.
Thanks, Kerry.
You know, the brief was surf and turf 2.0. I think this is surf and turf 10.0. It's frickin' delicious. This is a mark of the year type of dish. This is like up there, Kazali.
I love it when you know you're on a winner, and that's how you presented the dish. I love the fact that the fish sauce works so brilliantly with both the scallops and the lamb. It's such an odd combination of flavours that works so perfectly. Ever seen a lamb laksa?
No.
Wow. That's the way to start a week in the West, is with dishes like that. It should sit in the first 3 pages of your cookbook because it's beautiful.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Well done, Tessa.
Well done, Tessa.
Well done.
Today I'm making a white chocolate panna cotta with the raspberry sorbet, lemon curd and salted caramel ganache.
You can do it now.
Greek yogurt. Today I brought my husband, my brother, both my grandparents.
Oh, you can do it, Haria.
My mum and my dad, my auntie and my cousins. Half the family. My little cheese squad.
You can do it now. Am I sorry?
That smells beautiful.
Go leave it.
I love to if you give it to me.
It's always good to get advice from my grandmothers. I think they're both amazing cooks.
I teach her. She can get anything. Anything. She's very clever. I teach her how to make the halloumi ravioli. She loves it.
5 minutes.
Come on, Zoe.
You can do it. Don't worry.
Of course you can do it.
Beautiful, Zoe. They look beautiful, Zoe, like you. Tell Gary and George to give an iPhone.
Oh, she's being careful. What's on there?
What's on there?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay.
What have you made?
I've made a white chocolate panna cotta.
Yep.
And I've made that with a raspberry sorbet, some frozen raspberries.
Yep.
Got a little bit of lemon curd, salted caramel ganache.
Wow, nice. And you've been listening to Matt Preston, because he likes his panna cotta out of the mould, out of the glass.
I think it shows the real skill of the cook.
That's right.
I just want to see something. That's what I want to see. That's why I don't want a panna cotta in a glass, because I want to see that movement. Because that tells me it's not been overset with gelatin or egg white. It's got some movement, it's got some wobble. That's sexy.
It's definitely a yes from me. It's a beautiful dessert that you'd be very excited if you sat in a restaurant and got that.
It's an absolute delicious panna cotta. It's one of the best we've had in the competition. I love it. It's a big yes for me. Love it.
So a yes, and a yes. How about that?
So I'm doing a steamed snapper with lots of miso Japanese flavours. Going to carry that throughout the whole thing. So then I'm doing grilled scallops, poached Moreton Bay bugs and miso, so popcorn shrimp with a wasabi mayo, oysters with a vinaigrette and a tuna tataki.
I'm really nervous about this challenge. I know seafood cooks really quickly, so I think it's all going to be in the prep and the flavour.
My idea for the seafood platter is to go down the Southeast Asian route. I'm familiar with the flavours, and I think they're bold and beautiful, and I think it's something the judges are going to love. I've created a tom yum soup, and it's going to be the base for my crab and yabbies. But it needs to create flavour before I can cook the yabbies and the crab in it. I feel as though that I've done quite a lot already, but I really haven't gone on to cooking my seafood yet, and that's the main part of the challenge.
Right, Simon, talk to us.
How are you?
Not long to go now.
Yeah, I know,
How you're
45
looking?
minutes. My tom yum soup is going pretty well for the swimmers and the yabbies. My mussels, I'm waiting for some red chilies, and I'll just put that, because there'll be mussels, coriander, ginger, red chili.
Are you going to have time to do all these things?
Well,
like time's running out.
yeah,
so-
time is running out. The blue swimmers and that are 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah, great.
The oysters are raw, the snapper's raw. So as long as all my elements are done, then I know my cooking time should be quick.
And
Okay,
you got to go.
Delicious it must be, but it must look generous and attractive, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. I've given myself a nice amount to do, but I know how quick seafood can be made. So if I can get my elements together, then I will be fine.
Because you look really good. Come on, bring it home.
Come on. I'm doing a Japanese-inspired seafood platter. My kingfish is prepped, my prawns are prepped, and now I'm moving on to the tuna. I'm going to make a tataki with this tuna and have it beautifully crusted with sesame.
I'm just getting the best bits of the tuna so I can square it up really nicely so it's really nice and beautiful.
I want the tuna to be really perfectly squared so I can cook it evenly on all sides.
Come on, Nicole, you got this.
That tuna looks beautiful.
You can do it. Come on.
Nicole, you got the tataki there. What else you got to do?
I've just got to sear my prawns, poach my bug, cook my scallops, and poach my fish.
You've still got a lot of steps to go here.
Yep,
it's all pretty quick stuff. I'm feeling a little bit of panic. I've taken a lot of time to prep my tuna.
Okay, so you've got 4 elements to do, making the batter, frying, scallops.
Still got a few more things to grill.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
With my prawns, I want to batter them in a light tempura batter, and then I'm going to put them in the deep fryer to make popcorn shrimp. This kitchen is so stressful. There's just so much pressure to get this right, but I feel like I'm on track. I just need to sear my scallops and slice up my tuna tataki and then plate this up beautifully. Slicing up my tuna, it just looks beautiful. It's such a great piece of meat, and I think I've treated it really well, and I'm so happy with this one.
Walking the platter to the judges, I look at my prawns and I'm hoping they cook perfectly.
Generosity, Simon, that's never a bad thing. Lots going on at this plate. Prawns, worried about them, happy about them.
I kept my eye on them, and I'm happy with them. I thought they came out nicely translucent on the top. It's all about resting time as well, which I completely forgot about last time, and I think that's what really undid me. So I hope that the resting time still did it proud.
All right, time for us to taste. Off you go, Simon.
Thank you very much. Enjoy. Thank you.
I think that's a spectacular looking seafood platter.
But is it cooked properly? Let's find out.
I love it. Particularly that prawn. Beautifully cooked. Simon's redeemed himself after the nightmare he has to take to the surf club.
Everything's cooked beautifully. That blue simmer crab's spot on. I mean, it's sweet, perfectly cooked. I don't think any of us could cook that any better. That is absolutely on point. Love it.
Look at our fingers. We actually need a bib and we need a big hot towel. And that's really, I think, the real true representation of an Aussie seafood platter, right up to speed, bang up to date. And you'd be happy to sit in a restaurant and pay good money for this.
Yeah. Really great job, just really showcasing great seafood, minimal interruption to a lot of the elements, really respecting the seafood, which I think is a real key with any sort of seafood platter.
Doesn't get any better than this. Beautiful seafood platter, crashing waves, but it's time to get the next seafood platter in.
I'm really proud as I look at my platter. It just looks beautiful. There's lots of colour on there. The tataki stands out, and I'm just really happy with it. I know I've got some real Japanese flavours on there. I just hope that the judges like it.
Well, certainly colourful, isn't it? You happy with that?
Yeah, I'm really happy with the tuna. I think the bugs poached beautifully. I'm just a bit worried about the prawns. I think I might have had them in the fryer for too long, so I'm just not 100% on those ones.
Nicole, great, we'll taste that.
Cool, thank you guys so much, thanks.
Thank you very much, one oyster. All righty. Well, I think that's a fabulous plate of food. The standouts for me, the tataki of tuna, beautifully cooked, great texture. Love the crust of sesame seeds. Love that popcorn prawn with the wasabi mayo. I think it's really delicious. I think what she's done is she's just thought about just lots of colour, lots of texture, and big bang for buck flavours.
Really love the sort of popcorn shrimp, but yeah, the standout is definitely the tataki. The tuna is got a beautiful texture.
It's one of those great dishes where you go back, you have one piece, you have another piece, and you kind of continue this merry-go-round on the plate. I think Nicole's done a great job.
Seafood's an expensive commodity, and what's exciting is with Nicole, everything has been cooked perfectly. She's done a really good job.